my god, that was intense. Look how cool Boogie Woogie Wonderland is. But there's one big eyesore right here in the middle. Look at that green garden patch. This is not a farm. We're not gonna be having cows here. So let's get building and fill in this blank space. Oh, I can dig all I want here, but I'm not going to be able to remove all this terrain because I'm having water on the right side, which means I have to have terrain here. So I can remove this using the tunneling from a track ride. So I'm using this motion movement thingy-majiggers to delete some of the terrain on the right side. The only thing is now that I cannot remove the water, because if I remove the water, I will never be able to put it back. So I'm building a secondary wall to cover the water that you can see in between the walls. That's something I cannot hide. And a nice way to fill this up is by just placing down plants to blend the wall in with the environment. And then I realized something. Oh my god! These walls don't have these wooden pieces and it's not uniform with the rest. Oh, I had to place down all these wall pieces. Can you hear that sound? That is the sound of an upcoming snap build. Let's go! What in the world? What the hell is that? I tried to start working on some of the pathing to bring it all the way down to the bottom, because I knew I was gonna make a flat ride in here at this point, but I didn't know which one yet. So I played around with pathing and it just was not working, so I decided to just go and pick my flat ride. For some reason I thought it was a good idea to have this bloody launch tower. It was small enough so it could fit, but it was a bit too tall and obstructing the background, so I wanted the top of the tower to become right here, somewhere around here, so that meant I had to dig it all the way in on the ground. So I started digging and digging and digging until I finally reached the bottom, which was around here, and it was still too tall. So I started digging more, and then I placed the tower again, and then it was perfect. And I had to make sure that it obviously was nicely aligned with the pathing, so I'm just aligning it here, as you can see. And then I place it down, and that's it. The ride's placed. Let's start decorating this bloody death machine. But Book, how are you gonna connect the pathing and the queue to the entrance all the way at the bottom? Yeah, I hadn't figured that out yet, so I'm playing around here, as you can see, and there was just no way I could make it work. So I had to come up with an alternative way of having the pathing go all the way to the bottom. And I think I found out something that worked. So on the other side of the hole, on the left side of the pathing, there's this little section here that I'm using to connect my pathing all the way to the bottom of the cave that I dug for the ride. I had to move this little duckling around and then pretty much ruin the setup that I created here. Then I created a hole in the wall and simply started building straight through it. I removed the curbing of the pathing above so that I have a little bit more room, and then started playing around with arches and wall works so that it looks nice and incorporated and finished. So here is what I came up with. Now that we finally got the pathing going on the ground without obstructing the launch tower, I had holy crap. Oh, this bloody virus is still pushing through my system. But my optimism is definitely beating it. So we're bringing this pathing all the way to the bottom and then creating a little bit of a square, because I really wanted to build a shop as well. The original idea was to build a little merchandise shop or a goodie shop on the blank spot that we're building now, but I decided the Gardens of Bughuul needed another ride, so I combined the two and built a little goodie shop as well as having a flat ride here. And I think it would work really well once it's done. So yeah. Time to bring the whole shebang together and polish everything so that it looks nice and cohesive and finished. So I'm building and finishing the walls up here to the top. And then I started placing down rocks to make sure that the terrain looks nice and incorporated and not so patchy the way that it is now and unfinished. So yeah, placing down some walls. And what the hell was that? Placing down some walls? Oh my god, I'm on helium. Crazy man, crazy book. Here's Snappled. Why do I always do this slurpy thingy? What's wrong with me? I had to do a whole lot more polishing. I'm using these marble beams to put them around the edges so it's not so rough looking. I also placed down a lot of plants all over the place to blend it in with the environment and don't have it look like it's just a massive deep hole in the ground out of nowhere. And I want it to look not so out of place, so plants are the things to go, and that blends everything together. So yeah, here are the plants and a nice little Snappled. I had this vision in my head of walking all the way to the bottom of the cave and having multiple different levels on different heights to be able to see the ride going up and down. And obviously I needed to incorporate the pathing with the terrain, so I built different layers of pathing, and now I'm just theming the pathing so that it's nice and incorporated with the rest of the build and the rest of the gardens of Bughuul. So here is a little snap build of some of the pathing work that I've done. Now the flat light is looking rather ugly, if I have to be honest. It's just one of those things that looks like it just could be on a fun fair or something like that. But Gardens of Bughuul wasn't a fun fair, so we're gonna incorporate it nicely with these ruined pieces, just like we did with the water monsoon ride. This one is also going to be nicely incorporated, and obviously making sure that it all works and functions as it should be, with no clipping. Now that the basic walls are in place, I used beams to cover up all the bits and pieces that were poking out from the tower and blend it all in together. And that also includes this stopping mechanism, I think that's what it is. I don't really know. It's the safety mechanism so that it falls down, that it gets hooked on these hook thingies. I don't know what I'm talking about. And then we're covering up the top a little bit with a ruined piece and lots of planks, so that it's not metal looking. I did a little bit of work on the underground section and installed an underground lake. At least that's what I was working on here. And I really wanted it to be close to the pathing, because I wanted a waterfall to come down from top all the way to the bottom of the cave. And I will show you and explain to you later why I need to have water at the bottom of the cave. But yeah, for now, this is the little underground lake that I made. Throughout my park I have a lot of terracotta items, such as these pots that you see down there. And I had the idea of turning this ride into a terracotta themed ride. The whole idea was to have all the way at the bottom of this ride, at the bottom of the cave, to have a little production terracotta mine where terracotta is made, and then this ride was gonna function as the terracotta drying rack. So the idea is that the terracotta pots are made at the bottom of the cave, and then using this device, back in the day in ancient Bughuul, they would bring all the pots up to the top and have them rotating and drying on this rotating rack that you see me build here. So it's just a drying rack, but instead of having clothes drying, you have terracotta pots drying. And I know this is not anciently accurate or anything like that. This is just in my head. I come up with these crazy ideas and then I just end up making them. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the idea of the ride. And here is the drying rack that I'm building on. Now I've got different animation pieces and I'm using them to rotate all the pods on different speeds and different angles, so it's a bit more realistic. And also I placed down the name of the ride, which is Terracotta, on top of the dropping tower. I thought it was a really funny name. Instead of Terracotta, I'll be Terradropper. Get it? Ah, never mind. I did a little bit more work on the underground lake that I was making. And I've got this waterfall here that I really wanted to bring all the way down to the bottom. And as you can see here, I'm placing down these rings that are spread all around the gardens of Bughuul so far. And I'm just extending the waterfall and make sure that it reaches the bottom of the cave. There's really nothing special, so I'm just gonna show you the snap build. While there is a lot more theming to do, I decided to have a crack on this new shop that I wanted to have. This is gonna be a goodie shop. This goodie shop wasn't available in Planet Coaster 1, and only up until recently, a couple of updates ago, they had the opportunity to make goodie shops. So I really wanted to incorporate one in my build, because I didn't have one in the gardens of Bughuul so far. While I'm building a flat ride at the spot where I was supposed to build this goodie shop, I still wanted to have the goodie shop there, so I have the goodie shop on the ground, and I still think it looks really nicely. So I'm building a little bit of a centerpiece, a hole with some water leaking up through the ceiling, and yeah, there's really not much to it other than placing some walls and stuff like that. After decorating the main fountain in the middle of the shop a little bit, placed down some plants and some pots and stuff, I started working on all the items and the shelves that are up for sale. It took me a little while to realize that you actually have to connect these items with the shop that you place down where they're being sold. So I was like, why are they empty? Aren't they supposed to have stuff on them? But only when you connect it to the shop, you get items on it, as you can see here. And all of a sudden I had items, which was really cool. And the detail on these items are actually really good. Super happy with this update to the game. I think it's a well-deserved update that was long overdue. I placed the shelves down on both the left and the right and just surrounded them with some marble beams. So I also placed a couple more details, like these pillars that you see throughout the gardens of Bughuul, as well as some of these decals and these decorative borders and stuff like that. That sound of the pots in the snap build. I love it. Also, I named the shop the Terracotta Shopper. I thought that was really funny. And then I really have to apologize to you guys. I started building and polishing some things down on the ground, and for some reason it just hasn't recorded my recording, so I'm not able to show you guys what I did, but I will show you in great detail in the end section of this video. What I'm doing here now is I'm attaching some pots to some ropes, because I wanted these pots to hang upside down from the cave and in the cave, because obviously this is going to be a terracotta mine. So they're making terracotta pots here, and I wanted them to be drying all over the place, so I had to decorate the cave with these terracotta pots hanging upside down. But to be able to even reach these pots hanging from the ceiling, I had to install a lot of scaffolding to be able to make it at least a little bit realistic. So back in the day, people used to climb on these ladders and being able to hang out all these terracotta pots from the ceiling. That was kind of the idea that I'm having, so I thought I placed down a lot of these scaffolding items and stuff like that, and ladders and all that sort of stuff. And I installed some of these pots and attached them to a rotating piece, so if you put them on slow and you hang them from the ceiling, it just looks like the pieces are rotating in the air, drafting in the wind and stuff like that. It's a little bit more realistic, and it just gives a little bit of like a playful effect to this build. I was really happy with how things were looking. Obviously installed lots of lighting on the ground as well, because this is a really dark place And lighting is definitely needed to give it more an immersive feeling. Then from a quick look on the internet, I found out how terracotta was made, and it's pretty much mixing dirt with water to turn it into some kind of clay, and then they use it to shape these different types of spots. So I made little piles of terracotta dust, which they've mined from the ground, I guess so. And that's why I needed this waterfall to reach the bottom, because this clay dust needs to be mixed with water, and the idea was to have this look like an ancient terracotta production facility. So there needed to be water there to mix it with the dust. I also put a bunch of shovels in the ground just for realism. And then I also worked on the entrance, and I've just got this big terracotta pot with the wood entrance on it, and a couple of terracotta pots above the entrance as well. Because I also forgot to record the snap build, that's kind of it really. Let's go jump in and I'll show you guys what I made. What? Here we are! Look at this! Isn't it just incredible? Oh my god, I get a little bit excited. Look at the result of this. There it comes. Isn't this just amazing? Look how cool this is. There's a hole in the ground. And there used to be... There it goes. There used to be just a patch of grass here, and now it's turned into a fully fledged ride. And it blends in so nice with the environment. Look. This is incredible, and the little entrance is just here. We're gonna obviously walk down. But yeah, I'm super stoked with how this turned out. I could probably make this a little bit bigger. Maybe some of these things, maybe this thing. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I'm so hyperactive today. What? I don't know. Let's go and have a look around. I'm gonna be... Ah, you stole my gifts! What? Here we go. The Terracotta Caverns. This is a little bit boring, Boogie. Oh my god, book! Decoration and shit! What the fuck? He's going through the floor. Anyway, it's pretty cool looking. I have to say, you got a little glimpse here. You got little pots floating around. This device was actually really cool to make. And there's actually a whole idea to this. Pretty sure I've already told you in the video, but this after walk around thingy-majiggers, I always record before I edit my videos, so I don't know what I'm saying in my video, so here I go and say it anyway. The whole idea is for this to be a terracotta mine, where they mine clay or whatever terracotta is made from, and they used to turn it into terracotta pots, which you can see hanging upside down, drying all over the place. There's one just swinging around, so they're terracotta pots drying all over. And then they use this elevator to bring it all the way to the top and have the terracotta dry, rotating in the air. I thought it looked really cool. Here they go! Oh my god, he's gonna shit himself. He's a bit scared. So yeah, that's the whole idea of the ride. We're gonna go all the way down to the bottom. Here you can have a better look. It's super stoked. This is a bit of a dodgy walkway over to the rocks. I installed some like scaffolding all over. Look how cool this is. The views are really cool. We're just gonna go drop down. Yeah, I thought this is such a cool ride, and obviously the people love it. Oh, I didn't show you guys, but here on the right you got a little bit of a waterfall into a little bit of a lake, and then the lake extends. And then there it comes down and it falls through this ring into a little splash pond, or sploosh kaboosh as I call it. Oh damn it, I forgot to theme this. Oh my god, Book! Amateur! Get yourself resign you bitch! What? So this is supposed to be a staff room. I don't know why I'm recording this, I have not even finished. Oh my god. Here's toilets for when people have been on this ride and need to take a shit. Go in there. And this is the exit. Not very decorated, but that's fine. It's just an exit. And here we have the Terracotta Shopper. I thought it was really cool. I wanted, initially I had the idea of having this square where this ride is now and turn it into a big gift shop. But I really wanted to have a gift shop in this area. But I also wanted to have a ride, so I thought I combined the two And I turned this into the Terracotta shopper. And here you can see children and even adults looking at Planet Coaster 2 puzzles. Incredibly entertaining. And then all the different types of shirts. Very nice. The balloons. He's like, what kind of balloon should I buy? No, it's too childish. I can't be honest. Even this guy. What is it with adult guys buying balloons? What do you want? Ooh, he was a bit shocked. And then here you go and pay and get your postcard as well if you want. And you can send it home and tell your family that you've been in the Terracotta shopper. Isn't that great? Amazing. Let's go and walk the queue. Here we have the Terra Dropper. That's the name of the ride. I probably need to turn this into white so that's easier to read. And we got entrance here to the Terra Dropper. And I have to know, I'm really tired. What? I'm really tired today. And you've got little piles of terracotta dust, as I call it. And then we've got the cave, obviously walking all the way to the bottom. And you've got all the pots laying around. Excuse me, coming through. And then if you look up, you can see all the pathing. You can see all the scaffolding and the ride. It's just so cool. I'm super stoked with how this turned out. This ride is pretty incredible. And also, obviously, it's really nicely decorated. Like my other monsoon shoot ride. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check the link in the top right corner right here. That's the monsoon shoot. And then, let's jump on this thing, shall we? It might be really cool. We'll have some cool views. We go sit, wait for guests to go in, I guess. I guessed. Get it? I guessed. Alright, let's take a seat. And then we're gonna go on the spot where we can look at the shop. I think it's this one. Yeah, I think this will be a good shop. Yeah, let's have a look at this ride, shall we? We're gonna go launch up. And you just poke out at the top and you fall all the way back down. Now we're gonna switch seats so we can see the other side. Here we go. It's pretty cool. There's so much to see as well. Look at that pot. This is rotating. Oh, look at that reveal. It's so cool. Oh, I love it. There we launch all the way back to the top. And then we go all the way back down. It's so neat. You get decent view as well. And it's super tall as well. Like, it doesn't look like it, but this is the top of the drop tower. And it's really tall. Like, it's really tall, so super stoked with how this turned out. You see all the pots that rotate and all the planks rotate as well, and then together rotating the top of the ride. And obviously having the mechanism on display, I thought it would be really cool. And having the rope. Oh, why do I keep you holding? Anyway, now that this is done, I can show you guys the POV of the water coaster, because I really needed to build this, because I didn't want you to come down when you come down through here and you have this like boring plain area here. It needs to be fully themed and decorated for the full experience, because you guys don't actually know what happens behind here. I haven't shown you that yet, but you can see there's a gate here and there's something under there that I've built that I haven't shown you guys. There's a whole area under here. So that we will see in the next episode. Look how cool and big Boogie Woogie Wonderland is becoming. This whole area here, the Gardens of Bughuul. And then we're obviously building here the cult ride, which is also finished. Well, finished, what am I saying? It's not finished. Oh my god, I zoom out so fast. I still have to build the whole coaster and stuff, which will be rotating around the whole Gardens of Bughuul area. And then I think that will be Gardens of Bughuul done. Then we've got 2 coasters and 2 flat rides. Here we've got the other flat ride. We've got the monsoon shoot. Super nicely integrated. I'm so stoked with how that turned out as well. And then obviously we have a restaurant as well. Boogie's Bistro. Very nice. We got all these people queuing up for Boogie's Bistro. Hey, don't touch your boobs. What? And then also here, we've got a little thingy. Anyway, that's all from our previous episodes. But yeah, let me know if you liked the episode. If not, that's okay. If you do, maybe consider subscribing here at the bottom right corner. You see my mouse? There's a little square here that you can click on, and then you can click subscribe, and then it's gonna really help me out. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye!